So, is this thing on? Yeah? Okay. Welcome back to Dear Becoming. Today is Tuesday, August 25th, and let's fill you in on what's been going on. So, remember that new place that I said I was going to? Not the new job because it's the old place. Same place. I mean, not same place. Same job, new place. I'll get that right one day. Anyways, are you guys sitting down? Because I feel like you can't be standing up for this. So, I went from one store to another store, right? And the other store, first of all, the first store, there's nothing crazy big like, oh my God, I hate it here. Like, no, it's not. It was not like that. It's just, I didn't want to be in a position that I was in. I wanted to be moved back. Okay, so where I would be working with like commercials and pulling parts and things like that, where I would be moving and jogging like everywhere. Okay, and mostly like dispatching area, which is where I started, which is where I enjoyed, which is where I fell in love with this job. And they moved me to the front for experience that I needed for a certain position to, or even just to move up. But since that's not happening, why am I torturing myself up in the front when I don't want to be in the front? So I looked around to see who had available dispatch position, I guess you could say. And first store welcomed me in, right? Crazy. I wasn't going for the mostly for the location. I was going for the position. Okay. Well, we ain't gonna say names, but people make people feel uncomfortable. I've been working there for 4 years. So giving me the rundown on the dress code was not necessary. I've been there for 4 years. I've never gotten written up for dress code or anything like that. But the problem wasn't how revealing or how tight or any of that. Like that wasn't the issue of my dress code. My dress code issue was that why baggy? Why do you come to work where you're wearing baggy pants? And it wasn't to the point where it was like like a parachute or anything like that. They were just like normal, not tight fitted pants, loose fitted. And when I had this conversation with this person, my pants weren't even my baggy pants. They were my loose fitted pants, which is completely different. They're just like straight jeans that are loose fitted, okay? And I had them rolled up at the end or whatever. Anyways, yeah, it's like, you can wear shorts. You can wear leggings. I'm like, that's inappropriate. Like, why would I do that? Like, I think wearing my jeans is a lot more appropriate around these mechanics and these, all these men that I have to work with. And not respectfully, I think my jeans were just perfectly fine. And yeah, that was very uncomfortable. That conversation we had, it was like, can you come in, close the door? And yeah, no, that was not a close the door kind of moment. You know what I mean? So, anyways, I shoved it under the bed and I said, okay, I'll let that go. And then we agreed on, being a dispatcher, whatever, shook hands, made it a day. The first day that I had came, they changed my plans. They had me in the front. The reason why I left the first store is the reason why they put me in the front. Like, that's not why I left the first door. I had no other issues than being in the front. And now you're putting me in the front. Like, okay, you know what? I'm going to entertain this. We'll play this game. So that happened. Then the next day, I decided, nope, I'm going to stick to what we shook on. And I stayed in the back. And first thing he said was, hey, you got the front. You're in between so and so and so and so. And I'm like, no, I actually am not. I'm going to be back here helping you achieve the goal you not hired me, but moved me here for. And, what we shook our hands on, that's what I'm going to do. And then walked away with disappointment and maybe frustration, I don't know. But then there went the silent treatment. I was no longer an employee in the building. Like, person just treated me like I did not exist because I did not follow what they wanted me to do. Because I did not allow myself to be stepped over and dragged around. Because I'm able to do certain things doesn't mean that I should have to do them. I shouldn't have to do your work because I know how to do your work. I shouldn't have to be in the front because I know how to do the front. I shouldn't have to, do anything that is out of my position because I know how to do it. Great, I know how to do it, but does it mean you gotta abuse the fact that I know how to do it to get things done the way you want to get them done because you don't want to do it, or you don't want to face the consequences, or whatever the case may be. Face up to your accountability. If you brought me in for a certain project to get fixed and I am here to fix it, and you push me away from it where I can't even help fix that issue because you put me too far away from it, how do you expect me to believe the things that you're telling me is for the better good of the store? Do you know what I mean? So that was the second day. The third day got even worse. And then, I was told, be careful with the cliques, be careful, people getting together and, starting little groups here and there. Don't join a group, don't do this and that. And then this very person who told me all this is the very person acting like this. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm starting to see the connections here. There's a reason why high school is being carried on in here, because the leader is high school. And if that makes sense, that makes sense. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. But yeah, I was like, okay. You know what? You're not talking to me. You gave me the silent treatment. Great. You know what that means? That means I can continue to do what I was supposed to be doing with no interruptions. That's how I saw it. So, cool. I'll continue. And as I did, I got all these great feedbacks from everybody else. I'm so, things went smooth and thank you for helping and I appreciate it and blah, 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 blah. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you Monday. We'll see you this day. We'll see, everybody with high hopes, right? And then 5:30 came. And this person's like, can you come into the office really quick? I need to talk to you. I go in, and basically he said his feelings without saying his feelings. He's like, I don't think this is going to work out. He didn't give me no explanation why he doesn't think. He's just like, I don't know, it's not you, it's me conversation. That's what he gave me. He kind of broke up with me without breaking up with me. You know what I mean? He's like, I don't want to be the one to break up, but let's put it out there and grab it if you want it. kind of thing. And I'm like, that's not how businesses work. But I could see how he thinks it does. I mean, it is high school high in there. So the fact that the way the conversation went, I want to not give too much, but give enough. It made me uncomfortable. It made me not just frustrated, but it did make me uncomfortable. And almost like I personally, on my perspective, I wanted to say was, I'm sorry I didn't kiss your ass. I'm sorry I didn't dress slutty. I'm sorry, like, but in the most sarcastic way, because I'm not sorry. And you're not going to bully me. You're not going to force me to do things that I don't want to, or wear things that I don't want to, or look a certain way, or act a certain way, or create a certain environment because you are just used to it. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're not familiar with, a hardworking person who is willing to stand up for what they believe is right for them. Like, I'm sorry I didn't roll out the red carpet and, bow down to your feet, and just because you're in a higher authority than I am. I'm sorry that I challenged you to step up to my plate instead of me lowering my expectations. Okay? There you go. So, the way it ended was like, can you go back to your store? Is what I was told, right? And I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you being serious right now? You want me to go back to my store? And not to disrespect the other store, because they're amazing store, great. This is just the position that I need is not available, and it won't be anytime soon because it's already aligned for the next one. And I totally get it and understand, and I'm so proud of that store. But I'm not trying to go backwards, okay? That's not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to bounce around, and I'm not here to go backwards. But I'm also not here to be uncomfortable and be and lower my standards and my respect because somebody wants to be childish. That's what we're gonna call it. We're gonna call it childish. So no. So then I called my old boss. Then I called, gave me options. So then I was like, you know what, come. And then I talked to like a good friend, and they both said the same thing. So I was like, you know what, we're gonna keep this on hold, and come Monday, I'm gonna do a change. I'm gonna wake up really early, call this person, and if everything goes great, I won't have to go back to that store. And if it doesn't, then I'll still go back to the store, but I will hold my standards. That is how the plan, that's what I was thinking was going to happen Monday. Monday was yesterday, by the way. So on Friday, after he told me that on Friday, I still finished my obligations. I still worked as hard as I would normally work, regardless of how I felt. And the co-manager in the front was like, hey, Erica, you coming in tomorrow? And I was like, do you need me to? He's like, yeah. And I was like, is so-and-so going to be there? And he's like, no. And I was like, I'll be here. Turns out he was there, but, it was fine. Because I was under another person who was in charge and, did everything he wanted me to do, like, it was pretty slow time, so like I got to like clean up and put things away and restock and get like everything ready for the week to come, which was yesterday, Monday. I got as far, I think, like almost 90%. No, I was trying to get to 100%, obviously, but I got 90% done with the small section left. And I said my goodbyes or whatever, and I was like, okay, like, I'm not telling anybody any of this because, like, first of all, it's between me and that person. But unfortunately, it's the person in higher position than me, so it's a little hoo-hoo. Anyways, so after that, Monday came, made the call. Amazing person. It's like you don't have to go through that crazy trauma. Not trauma, he said drama, but it came out as trauma. Call it what you want. And he's like, yeah, just come to the store. And he's like, we'll get it all worked out. Our boss's boss, he's on a week leave, okay? Let's just say he's on a week of vacation. He's not going to be back for another week. So till next week. So I have a whole week of trying to figure out like where, like this guy, the last person, who I had a conflict with here, we'll call it that. He's messing with my money because I have to clock in and clock out, and that's how I make my money. Not only is he like messing with how I'm supposed to dress and act and be, but now he's getting into my pockets. You want to talk about my identity and my personality? Go ahead. I know it speaks for itself. Not a problem. But when you go into my pockets, buddy, we got problems. We got big problems. Okay? We're not going to allow that. Anyways, luckily I didn't have to return. I went somewhere else, and I got to do exactly what I was trying to do, the back, and it was great. It was really awesome. Today's day 2. We'll see how great and awesome it is again. Like, I have no complaints, and it's been really good, and I like it. So I'm happy, but that uncomfortable feeling is still lingering because am I the only one that's feeling uncomfortable? Because it's like nobody especially if you've been there for so long and all of a sudden they want to talk to you about dress code and you're not even at a dress code. Interesting. I feel like that was wrong in many levels, but it is what it is. We will take care of that in a week. For now, we'll just move right in that new store and hope for the best. But can I just tell you that don't come and attack me personally. I don't really care. But when you're digging in my pockets, guess who you're messing with? You're messing with my living space. You're messing with my children. You're messing with my survival. Like, that job, not that I necessarily need it, but it's keeping me afloat. And even if it wasn't, it's still my money. You do not come to me and try to come for my pockets, okay? That's one thing you don't do. That if anything, you want to talk bad about me, fine, whatever. Go ahead, say some words. You want to, talk about my personality, I don't care. Attack me. You want to talk about my identity? Go right ahead. It speaks for itself. But don't come at my children. Don't come at my pockets. And don't come at my faith. Everything else, I can handle. I can deal. I can turn my back. I can smile. I can ignore. I can sweep it to the side. But my pockets, my children, and my faith, I would highly adjust not to do so. So, there you go. I hope you guys have a great Tuesday, and I will talk to you guys another time. We'll see how everything goes. I'm definitely going to give you an update in a week. when the boss man comes. But till then, we're just going to go ahead and love, live, and learn. So, thank you for listening, my beautiful souls. Enjoy the rest of your day. And love you. Bye.